good morning to you. It is 7 a.m. on Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. Welcome to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato, and we will take your calls at 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. Clouds, occasional showers today, highs about 67. We head straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta with a first check of the Garden State forecast. Good morning to you, Mike.
Good morning to you, Ken. A bit of a different scene today with some rain in the forecast. So, a cooler feel as opposed to the warm sunshine that we've had the last several days. A look outside across New Jersey shows most of the steady rain is right now down the shore across Cape May, but some of that rain is working its way up throughout the coast over the next several hours, giving most of New Jersey some spotty showers today. Some of those showers coming down quite heavily right now in the southern portion of the state. There's even, due to wind, a coastal flood advisory that goes through 10 o'clock tonight through Ocean County for those gusts up to about 30 or 35 miles per hour, pushing a lot of that water from the shoreline inland. So, with temperatures today that will start off in the upper 50s in Sussex and Morris County, down through the upper 60s at the coast, it's a cooler feel, but noticeably a little more humid thanks to that wind off of the water, and temperatures running about 1 to 4 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. You can see clearly where the humidity is down at the shore points from Monmouth, Ocean, and even Atlantic and Cape May counties. All of those counties have that lighter shade of green versus the lighter shade of yellow where it's drier up north. With all of that light rain working through, it's all swirling around the storm, which is off to our south. So we'll see these variable amounts of clouds and showers today. Not steady rain all day, though it'll come in spits and spurts through the afternoon. But what is a guarantee is the gusty winds all through the afternoon, especially at the coast through the end of the day, as temperatures will hold in the mid 70s, but those winds will be pretty persistent right throughout the afternoon, eventually relaxing tomorrow. So with the future cast showing most of the wet weather around today, we clear out beautifully tomorrow. Just have to make it through some of those spotty showers into this afternoon. And they are very widely scattered, with temperatures holding in the upper 60s and low 70s today, with some of that light rain even lasting through early tomorrow morning, but eventually clearing out with the clouds giving way for some sunshine by the afternoon, helping us to bring temperatures back into the upper 70s, even some low 80s. Friday is a beautiful day. Look at this, 82 degrees in Toms River on Friday afternoon, 80 over in Newark, abundance of sunshine, a beautiful way to wrap up the week. And then the weekend looking pretty decent as well, especially for Saturday and Sunday, with lots of clear sky to enjoy this weekend, but a little bit of a cool start. Look at that, 39 degrees on Saturday morning, 5 a.m. So maybe the fall festivities getting going. You will enjoy that cool, crisp fall feel this weekend, with temperatures only climbing in mid 60s by the afternoon on Saturday. Sunday is also cool again, starting off in the 50s and climbing again later on in the day over to the mid 60s. So, with the next few days featuring a little bit of a warm up, it does turn milder. We get up to about 82 on Friday and then cool off a bit for Saturday, but the sun sticks around this weekend with nice dry weather and low humidity, Ken.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. But it is dank out right now. You walk outside, you think, ew, dank fall. This is not what I'm used to, but it is what it is. Thank you so much, Mike. We have 63 degrees right now at 7:04. We have a temperature of 62 in Trenton. And we look at some traffic in the area right now. There are problems on Route 3 eastbound, and this is an unanticipated construction delay. This is Route 3 eastbound. So the folks coming, let's see, which way are we heading? I can't make out the. It's heavy both ways. I can't tell which way is east, which way is west. Bottom line is there are unanticipated construction delays now. Route 3 eastbound, east of Ridge Road in Rutherford. That's causing about a 2 to 3 mile delay. The left lane is currently closed. So my guess based on that is that what's going away from you is what we're talking about, and that's why you see people flashing their headlights in the on the oncoming traffic. You see that there are a few flashing their headlights. So I think they're trying to tell the people whose taillights you're looking at that they either that or there's a cop ahead, which you shouldn't do. That's illegal. But nonetheless, that they are headed to that closure. I'm guessing. We had an accident, a crash on the Garden State Parkway that was literally cleared a moment ago. So if you were anticipating a smooth ride. And there are residual delays on the Garden State Parkway, southbound rather, just north of exit 144. We actually witnessed the crash being taken away. That'll get better in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Delays now on 1 and 9 northbound from south of Delancey to south of 1 and 9 truck route Pulaski Skyway in Newark. All lanes are open, just delays. And we have delays once you get to the Helix 495 eastbound from just east of the turnpike to west of Route 3 North Bergen. All lanes open, just a massive amount of traffic. Let's take a look at the actual Hudson River crossings. We're told it's 25 to 30 at the Lincoln, about 20 to 25 at the Holland. GWB approach right now, we had some issues reported on the lower level, and that's causing all sorts of delays. You can see everybody's going about 5 miles an hour. So we're told it's about 30 minutes in upper and lower into Manhattan right now in the GWB. It is 7:06, and tragedy in Toms River over the weekend when a pedestrian was struck and killed. State police say that it happened Saturday night on Fisher Boulevard. The unnamed victim was hit 8 p.m. The Ocean County Sheriff's Office says emergency responders quickly arrived at the scene, but they were not able to save the person, and an investigation is ongoing. New regulations for e-bike and scooter riders in Florham Park. Under the new rules, all riders under the age of 17 must wear helmets, and e-bikes are now prohibited on sidewalks in town parks and on athletic fields. The move comes as e-bike use is skyrocketing across the region. Congressman Josh Gottheimer says he wants additional safety measures as e-bike sales continue to rise, especially among younger people. The medical license of Dr. John R. McGee has been permanently revoked by the New Jersey State Board of Medical Examiners following several misconduct allegations. The state says McGee engaged in inappropriate behavior with a patient, improperly prescribed controlled substances, and misused prescription pads. He's now permanently barred from practicing medicine or reapplying for licensure in New Jersey. Officials say the move protects patients and upholds trust in the medical profession. 7:07 is our time. A 10-inch water main break has forced the shutdown of water service in parts of Hoboken. That happened on Monday after a contractor struck the line near Madison and 7th. Crews from the Veolia Water Company, New Jersey, are repairing the damage, and residents may notice low pressure. City officials are asking people to avoid that area as several streets remain closed. This is the latest in a string of water issues for Hoboken, where aging infrastructure continues to pose challenges. Yesterday was voter registration day, when New Jersey residents are encouraged to make sure they are registered to vote. If you are not, or you're not sure, you can register to vote online at nj.gov/state/vote. That is nj.gov/state/vote. And you can be ready to make your voice heard this election season. It's coming up. Do it today. And this Sunday, it is Governor's Day at Rider University, where state leaders will gather to discuss the big issues shaping New Jersey. On New Jersey, we'll stream it live, and you'll be able to watch from anywhere you get online. So if you have an internet connection, whether it be on your phone, your computer, wherever, you can get online and watch it. Register today and join us this Sunday, September 21st on New Jersey. 7:08, and New Jersey residents are being warned about a scam that is targeting those who are expecting their anchor property tax benefits. There are fraudulent text messages sent out claiming that tax refunds were approved, urging you to provide payment info to avoid losing the money. But the state's Division of Taxation says this is a phishing scam. That's phishing with a PH, means they're trying to nab your money. It is illegal, it is a crime, and they're trying to scam you. So if you get a text saying, send us all your personal info, tell us your social security number, your address, your phone number, don't click. And if you click, don't respond, delete it. And you should call the state directly and ask about it. Do not automatically give anyone your information if they come to you first, unless you know it's a state number and you call the state and then they ask you. That's different. But if they reach out to you and say, oh, could you just give us your information? Do not just say, sorry, bye bye. Officials stress Anchor, which is a program, is a rebate. It's not a refund. So the state will not ask you for any information like that via unsolicited text. Again, if you get a text message you're unsure of, contact the state directly. The deadline to apply for Anchor, Senior Freeze, and Stay New Jersey benefits is October 31st. Please take advantage of this. If you're not sure, ask someone you think might know about it. Ask your attorney. Ask your CPA, because if you're an elderly person and you live in New Jersey many, many decades, people say, when I retire, I'm not going to have enough money to pay the taxes. It's going to be too expensive to stay in New Jersey as a retiree. New Jersey now has certain caps depending on what your income level and your monetary holding level is. If you are just making it right now and you think once I retire, it's going to be a struggle to make it to pay property taxes, find out about this. Anchor, Senior Freeze, Stay New Jersey. Three very, very, very important programs in the state of New Jersey. Some of the few things I actually agree with the Democrats in New Jersey on. Stay New Jersey will cap off, for instance, your property taxes at a certain amount. I don't know the number off the top of my head. Let's just say hypothetically 6,600. Now, if you have 10 million in the bank, no, it's not going to be for you. But if you are paying month to month and you're kind of struggling to make ends meet, Stay New Jersey will put a cap on the property tax you pay, et cetera. So it's not going to keep going up until you die. It'll stop at a certain point, and that's it. Or I believe if it goes up tiny increments. It doesn't go up at a point where you're going to be forced to sell your home. They want seniors to stay because there's been flight to the Carolinas, Florida, Texas, et cetera. They want you to stay in New Jersey. North Bergen police officers facing theft charges after allegedly staying home while on duty. Investigators say Officer Rashid Siam logged over 130 hours off duty between November and May. He's been suspended without pay. He's due in court September 29th. Siam filed a complaint against the department alleging discrimination and retaliation. 7-Eleven, a federal appeals court has upheld New Jersey's law banning firearms in sensitive places like schools and public gatherings. The Third Circuit reversed a lower court's decision that struck part of the law, citing a long history of firearm restrictions in such locations. However, the court maintained the ruling that blocked the law's requirement for gun owners to carry $300,000 in insurance. That was obscene, because we have a Second Amendment allowing you to have guns. And by making it cost prohibitive, by forcing you to get that much insurance, you are in essence negating the Second Amendment. So that has been struck down. You don't need $300,000 in insurance anymore to get your permit and have a gun. New Jersey officials praised the decision as a victory for public safety. Of course they would, because they're anti-Second Amendment. While gun rights groups expressed disappointment, and they're considering their next steps, and that may include a higher appeal. And let me point something out. The liberals in this country love to sell the idea of, why should we have guns in your schools? That's stupid. You conservatives, that's dumb. Every time there's a school shooting, there's a church attack, it's almost always in a blue state in a gun-free zone. Why? Because people who want to hurt you don't give a damn about the law. They don't care that it's a gun-free zone. But people who are legal gun owners, they're forced to leave their guns home because you lefties will put them in jail for legally having a gun, getting training, getting a permit, letting the police know, yeah, I have a gun, I'm legal. Those people you want to put in jail. But the criminals who probably have guns 99% of the time, guns that are used in the commission of a crime are illegal guns. 99% of the time. You don't think somebody who wants to go out and hurt you or rob a store says, oh, let me go through the process of getting a permit. Doesn't happen that way. So when you have a gun-free zone for schools, for churches, for stadiums, you're only preventing legal, lawful, trained gun owners from having their guns there, because criminals don't care about your stinking gun rules. That's their attitude. In fact, what you're doing is you're helping them, because they know they can now come in and shoot up, God forbid, the location, because no one's going to be there to shoot back. So, pretty stupid idea. This is a liberal idea. This, I'm sure, will be appealed, and I'm sure the Supreme Court will say you can't have this. 714, a tractor trailer carrying hundreds of cases of M&Ms spilled out onto Route 80 Monday night. My fantasy. M&Ms everywhere. Yes, local officials say the truck struck another that was parked along the side of the highway. The good news is both drivers were checked out. They declined any treatment. They're going to be okay. But look at this. What if they were plain or peanut? Knowlton Fire and Rescue Company cleared the scene. Everything got reopened shortly thereafter. I'm wondering if people had that swept away, or if there were a few boxes of M&Ms pilfered. I'm just saying. There would some M&Ms in my pocket. Just saying. I love M&Ms. It is 714, clouds, occasional showers today. Highs about 67. Our dear friend, meteorologist Mike Favetta will return. He'll have your full Garden State forecast, and we'll take calls at 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings. Don't go away. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings for your Wednesday. I'm Ken Rosato at 7:15, taking calls at 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. Clouds, occasional showers today, highs about 67. I got to ask meteorologist Mike Favetta, who has the full Garden State forecast. Mike, are you a plain or a peanut M&M guy, or are you like me now? And I forgot to tell Pam, my actual favorite is peanut butter M&Ms. They're
Oh, the
just
peanut butter ones, those are good.
See, now
Those are
there's
good.
I
But
don't want to confuse people. There is Reese's Pieces, which also has peanut butter, and there's peanut butter M&Ms. They're similar. Reese's Pieces are a little creamier and sweeter. I like the peanut butter M&Ms. I'm just saying.
the peanut ones are like nostalgic, right? They're the classic ones that you get when you go trick or treat. Well, we used to go trick or treating, get the little, seven peanut M and M's in the tiny little bag. Those are something special. So yeah, yeah, that's a little homegrown New Jersey, right? Up in Hackettstown.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yum.
So we start off this morning with a little bit of wet weather. It's kind of the weather you might be grabbing the chocolate to kind of put a little spring in your step because the weather looking a little gray today. We start off with some light showers right now across the shore points, even some heavier embedded downpours down there in Cape May. We'll zoom into that area. Oh, I was going to zoom into that area. Huh. Okay. I guess not. Anyway, I'll do it next time. You see the last few hours showing that train of light showers coming in off of the Atlantic, and that will give us some light rain throughout the rest of the day into this evening. You see, most of the rain is coming in throughout the remainder of the day today, offshore with that easterly breeze pushing in those showers into the afternoon, and that's pretty much the forecast this afternoon. Light on and off showers with temperatures climbing in only to the low 70s, even upper 60s there from Princeton and West Freehold. Yeah, it's going to be one of those days where you'll have some wet weather around even through the end of this evening into early tomorrow morning. It's impacting visibility, 4 mile visibility in Cape May, 2 miles over in Millville. Even though the rain totals won't be all that impressive, up to about a half inch statewide, maybe up to an inch south of the Atlantic City Expressway. But again, because the system is passing by to our south, as these showers interact with the dry air over New Jersey, a lot of the storm evaporates as it moves on by. You can even see it here zipping on out to sea and losing some of its energy as it works on by. Most of those showers even moving off into New England. So for the next few days after today's cloud cover, we tap into a lot of clear sky. It'll look beautiful, and it'll also bring back a little bit of dry weather as well after the rain ends tomorrow morning. These dew points, they plummet going into the next few days, down into the 40s and 50s, making it feel very dry. There it goes, going from that shade of green to the shade of yellow into the end of the weekend. Even some 30s up there. That's some dry weather for Saturday morning. So a lot of the fall activities happening this weekend, even though fall begins on Monday, there's going to be plenty of dry weather ahead of it throughout the weekend and sunshine at that as well. I think with the clouds that return on Monday will give us a little bit of a milder week ahead. Going into next week, temperatures spike yet again into the upper 70s and low 80s. So it remains dry. I don't think we see much rain. Might be another sprinkle coming in by the middle of next week. Really nothing to worry about. And then throughout the end of next week, it also remains quite dry. So looking forward to the pleasant weekend ahead. Those fall activities will be great with a little bit of a breeze on Saturday, drier on Sunday, 72. A nice warm weekend, both days, 72 degrees. We'll let you know about that warm up for next week coming up on the 7 day forecast. Ken, that's in a few minutes.
That's a tease. Oh, that's why they call it a tease. I got it. Now I got it, Mike. 40 years in the business, eventually I'll figure this stuff out. You wonder why they booted me. All right, Mike. Thank you so much, sir. We'll check back in just a little bit. 63 degrees right now at 7:20. That's in northern New Jersey. In Trenton, it's 62 degrees. Great day, but we've been depleted of rain. We need the water, the moisture. We don't want to go into the winter season with a drought. So this is an actual good thing. Go out and say thank you, God, thank you, Mother Nature, for the rain. It is needed. In terms of traffic right now, we still have a problem on Route 3. We showed you a different shot. Let's show you the new shot we have. This is a different camera angle. So now this is Route 3, as you can see, looking west. You can see the flashing lights right under the RT in Route 3, and then across the way. Oh, are they moving now, Pam? It looks like they're starting to move the here. They had so under the NJ and looking. So if you look there, there were trucks blocking the left lane, which is to the middle of our screen. It looks like they turned off their hazard light, so maybe they're wrapping things up. Let's hope. I don't know that, but we'll see. It looks to me, Pam, it looks to me like they're inching forward. Oh, it is still blinking. Okay, Pam has better eyes than me. I have a little tiny monitor. But nonetheless, this is causing delays. You can see it's moving, but it's slow. This is Route 3 eastbound just by Rutherford area. So just beware if you head into the city or into like the more populous environs of New Jersey, you're going to hit that bit of traffic there. We also have a crash on the Garden State Parkway southbound north of exit 144 in Irvington. A right lane is blocked there. And there's a disabled vehicle on the Garden State northbound north of exit 137, Route 28 in Cranford with the center lane blocked. Route 208 now southbound from south of Russell Avenue in Wyckoff to south of Maple Avenue in Fairlawn. Just delays there. That's all volume. All lanes are open, but things are slow. Approaches to the Hudson River right now, we're told 25 minutes across on the Holland, 25 to 30 in the Lincoln, and your approaches to the GWB upper and lower level, massive amounts of traffic. I went through this yesterday morning between 8:30 and 9:30. It took me nearly an hour to get to the mid-span of the bridge from northern New Jersey. Actually, it was over an hour and 15. Just an absolute mess. And the difference between 4 weeks ago and now, when back to school and back to work wasn't happening, versus now, is night and day. It's literally three times the amount of time to get across the GWB because we have back to school and back to work. 722 and a new bipartisan bill in New Jersey aims at increasing penalties for politically motivated violent crimes. Senators Brian Stack and Doug Steinhardt are leading the effort following the recent assassination of Charlie Kirk. The proposed legislation would create mandatory minimum sentences for offenders driven by any kind of political animus. Both senators emphasize political violence threatens democracy and must be stopped. The bill has not yet been formally introduced. Details on the penalties are still being finalized, but it's out there. So get in touch with your state senators and state assembly members and let them know you want that bill, because people should not get away with trying to stifle free speech. We have political free speech in this country. It is what it is. 723 regarding Charlie Kirk. Bergen County officials are facing backlash because they demanded that they would not lower flags to half staff following the activist's murder, despite an order from President Trump. Now, just to be clear, President Trump only has authority over the executive branches of the federal government, not state government or local. But you would think, out of respect because of what just occurred, local officials would say, you know what, this was a very prominent figure known throughout the United States, and we should lower the flags. The interesting thing is the governor, our lovely Governor Buffy with the continuously clogged nose, buy some nasal spray and fix your teeth, sir, please. Governor Buffy would not make any kind of mandate to lower the flags. And but yet during the Black Lives Matter protests in 2010, or I'm sorry, in 2020, flags were at half staff all over the state, whether the state issued an order or not. The flags were all at half staff throughout the state of New Jersey for a man in George Floyd who was a multiple offender. He had been convicted a number of times. He was out at that point, just got out of jail, and had 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in his system, which is what resulted in his death. No, for all the liberals saying, "How do you know? Are you a medical examiner?" Don't have to be. That's a fact. That's a finding in the medical examiner's report. There was 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in his system. And that would suggest that even if he was in a hospital, whether a cop touched him or not, there would have been no way he would have survived. So just think about that. The state of New Jersey had flags at half staff for George Floyd out of their political correctness and butt kissing to the left, but they would not lower the flags after the public assassination of a person who was simply saying, "Prove me wrong." He never condemned people. He said, "Prove me wrong." That's called freedom of speech. We have that in this country, and that is the result of the left, period. 725, a doctor at Englewood Health in Bergen County has resigned after allegedly celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination. According to a lawsuit, Dr. Matthew Young, Jung, told colleagues, quote, "I'm glad he deserved it," in front of staff and patients, prompting a nurse to speak out. That nurse is named Lexi Kunzle, Kunzle. They briefly suspended the nurse for talking about what the doctor had done in front of staff and patients. But once there was some blowback from the public, the staff of the management of the hospital figured, ooh, bad idea, and they brought her back to work. She will not lose pay, that according to the hospital. Englewood Health says it conducted a full review and they're committed to maintaining a safe, respectful workplace for all employees. How about this, Englewood Health? How about when you have a medical doctor on staff? The medical doctor, she or he, is supposed to treat all people equally, no matter who they are, and they should not wish the death of anyone because they take something called a Hippocratic oath that says do no harm. Remember that? So once a doctor says, "I'm glad somebody's dead," that's when that person should be gone. Period. Full stop. End of sentence. 727, a New York judge yesterday threw out terrorism charges against accused murderer Luigi Mangione, rejecting the Manhattan DA's theory in a state murder case that the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was, quote, intended to evoke terror. New York has a really messed up murder system in terms of who gets charged. Because of the ultra liberals in the state assembly and Senate in New York, they have changed what murder one is. Basically, murder one, which in any other state in the whole country means killing somebody with intent and premeditation. Now, Luigi allegedly stood outside this hotel for like 12 hours. People saw him. He was pacing all night. He was waiting there with a gun, allegedly, waiting for Brian Thompson to emerge so he could kill him. He checked his schedule, allegedly, and he did it with intent, allegedly. So the point here is that's intent, but that's not enough. In New York State, you have to have intent to kill mass amounts of people for murder one. And you have to have intent to terrorize a whole group of people, not just one. This is what liberals do. They make it so impossible to charge and convict somebody. And these are the people you're electing. So today it's Brian Thompson. Tomorrow it could be your wife or your husband. And you have no say. What kind of civilized society permits murderers to exist and condones murder of people who are not breaking laws? What society does that? That is a breakdown in civil society. This is what's happening. And every time you vote Democrat in New Jersey or New York or anywhere else, that's what you are begging for. So Judge Gregory Caro, who initially was appointed by Governor Pataki, who's sort of a moderate to liberal Republican, and then he was later appointed to this district seat by Obama. He is a leftist. His family's from Puerto Rico. He's born in New York, but he is a leftist. He is a New York leftist judge. He said he would keep the second degree murder charges and lesser charges in place, but forget about like life in prison. That's gone now. The only way that can happen is if the federal government comes in and follows up and charges him. Well, he has been charged, I believe, in the federal government, but the federal government would have to then convict him of the higher charge. Otherwise, he won't get death penalty. Well, there is no death penalty in New York anyway, but the federal government does have it, and he wouldn't get life in prison under New York statutes. This is the way it works in liberal states, folks. Every time you think about it. The ruling, by the way, eliminated again the top two charges in Mangioni's state case, sparing him the possibility of a mandatory life sentence without parole. The 27-year-old is also facing parallel federal death penalty prosecution, as I mentioned. Meanwhile, there was a rabid pack of mostly younger radical leftist protesters outside the courthouse, many of whom openly praised Mangioni's alleged murder of Thompson, and they were chanting, "Free Luigi." Tragedy in Toms River over the weekend when a pedestrian was struck and killed. State police say it happened Saturday night on Fisher Boulevard. The unnamed victim hit at 8 p.m. The Ocean County Sheriff's Office says emergency responders were they got to the scene to save that person. An investigation's ongoing. And new regulations for e-bike and scooter riders in Florham Park. Under the new rules, all riders under the age of 17 must wear helmets, and e-bikes are now prohibited on sidewalks in town parks and on athletic fields. The move comes as e-bike use is skyrocketing across the region. Congressman Josh Gottheimer says he wants additional safety measures as e-bike sales continue to rise, especially among younger people. They're all over the place. 7:30 now. The phone lines are open. We'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. Clouds, occasional showers today, highs around 67. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. We're coming right back.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Hoffman, host of Energy Matters. Join me every night at 6 p.m., where we're discussing energy affordability, challenges, and solutions with stakeholders and elected officials. Join me weekdays at 6 p.m. on Energy Matters on ONNJ.
Very good morning to you. It is 61 degrees at 7:31, Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. Clouds, occasional showers today. Highs about 67. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with the detailed Garden State forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ken. Even though there's some sunshine in northern New Jersey this morning, don't let that fool you. Probably need the umbrella as you head out the door because you'll be using it by later today. Most of the clouds right now south of 195, but they're moving quickly to the north as the sun rises. And those clouds show up there on the satellite picture. Most of the rain right now south of the Atlantic City Expressway, and more showers will develop their way north throughout the rest of the day. So now we zoom into Cape May County, where some of those heavier downpours are occurring right there along the Parkway, Route 9, south of Avalon into Sea Isle City into Wildwood. All of this wet weather persists throughout the remainder of today. And with that, temperatures will climb into only the mid 70s today. So it'll be a humid feeling day with the wet weather around, as the rain already started in South Jersey and again works its way north into this afternoon. Temperatures are sort of average, basically where they should be in the mid 70s. And with the sun setting now closer to 7 o'clock, yes, we get these earlier sunsets now as we approach the autumnal equinox. Plenty of clouds today, looking gray by the afternoon and keeping it rather wet into tomorrow morning. So the future cast showing those showers lasting on and off through the overnight. We clear out by tomorrow, and that may spark off another quick shower in northern New Jersey tomorrow evening as those showers work through. Then that's it. We're nice and dry throughout the day on Friday into Friday night. Temperatures warm into the low 80s. It'll feel fantastic as we say goodbye to this system that's going to slowly meander its way out to sea and provide us those showers through tomorrow morning. Then this front sweeps through. That's again what could give us a late day shower tomorrow. And then we're right back to dry, sunny weather all weekend long. The high pressure puts itself in control and we are clear this weekend. So very pleasant weather ahead throughout tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Even next week, it stays dry. You can see the forecast warms up again after a warm up on Friday and Saturday into the low 80s and low 70s. We're back in the upper 70s for Monday and Tuesday, probably hitting Wednesday 80 degrees again. So it's another mild stretch, even at the shore points. Yes, you will enjoy 80 degrees at the beach on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, slightly cooler, but still plenty of sunshine to enjoy straight through next week. This does impact our drought because our drought got a little worse over the last week. We'll give you those details coming up with a check of that forecast, Ken, in your next weather update.
Thank you very much, Mike. It is now 63 degrees and 7:34. In terms of traffic, we have a messy little bit on the roadways. They're damp, and that's causing that. So let's take a look at Route 3 right now as you make your way to 495 at the merge. This is going toward the Lincoln Tunnel. It is bumper to bumper. And this is just volume and wet roadways. They're told it's 35 to 40 minutes in via the Lincoln Tunnel right now, but that's where 3 and 495 merge right by the beginning of the helix. So give yourselves extra travel time. That earlier disabled vehicle on the Garden State Parkway has been cleared. Actually, no, excuse me. The earlier vehicle, the earlier construction on Route 3 has been cleared. There is a disabled vehicle on the Garden State Parkway northbound, north of 137, Route 28 in Cranford. The Holland Tunnel is about 25 to 30 minutes in. We take a look at the upper and lower levels of the GWB. They've been messy all morning long. We're told that's 40 to 45 minutes in, no matter which side or which level, upper or lower, that you take getting into Manhattan. It is 7:35 right now, and officials announced formal charges against conservative Speaker Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin yesterday. Tyler Robinson is being charged with several counts, including aggravated murder. The judge who announced the charges against Robinson pointed out that he could be sentenced to death if convicted.
Notice conviction of this offense may carry the death penalty or pursuant to Utah Code 763-207.7, a mandatory term of imprisonment for life without parole or an indeterminate term of not less than 25 years that may be for life.
Courtesy Fox News, we appreciate the soundbite there. Authorities allege that 22-year-old Tyler Robinson fired a single rifle shot from a rooftop 200 yards away. They call it a sniper position, striking Kirk in the neck. Sadly, we all saw that on video. This happened a week ago today on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. That's about 40 miles south of Salt Lake City. It's the largest university of the state. Kirk was delivering a speech to a crowd of supporters, about 3,000 attendees, when he was shot. He was later pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. The FBI says they have not yet ruled out the possibility of others being involved in Kirk's assassination. Among other things, there was the older gentleman who we saw video fairly shortly after the shooting. We saw video of him with his pants down so that he couldn't run. The police allegedly pulled down his pants to keep him from running away. He was the one saying, "I shot him, arrest me. I shot him, arrest me." And at first, they thought he was just nuts. But now they're wondering if there was some kind of coordination. And they later investigated him, and allegedly, police say they found on his phone numerous images of child pornography, 7 to 12-year-olds, on that old man's phone. That old man was a protester against Charlie Kirk, an avowed public liberal. It just tells you there's something going on with the psychology on the extreme left. The radicals who are showing up and protesting seem to have something in common. They're nuts. They're crazy. So here's a guy who allegedly has kiddie porn on his phone, a man in his 60s and 70s showing up to protest a guy who's saying, just prove me wrong. Tell me that why my opinion is not right. That's all he's saying. He's not saying, go out there and hurt anybody on the left. That never, ever happened. If you think it did, I dare you, go online and find that video because it doesn't exist. Charlie Kirk kindly gave anybody who disagreed with him, gave him the mic or her the mic. They were allowed to come first in line. And so many times people who were clearly just brainwashed with leftist ideas, Charlie let them speak and then calmly and politely and respectfully had a dialogue with them. Didn't make fun. And he would say, I'm not trying to play gotcha with you. I'm just trying to learn. And you could see, if you just watch a few of those interplays, you'll see he was not saying, hey, look at his jerk. That was not Charlie Kirk. But yet you people on the left, because you're talking your own little leftist bubbles, that's the way you depicted this man. And that's why he was killed. You have blood on your hands, and you better wake up and realize it and stop trying to double and triple down, because as you do that, you are isolating yourselves. The people who keep doubling and tripling down on the left, mainstream members of the Democrat Party, are now isolating you. You are going to be part of a tiny fragment of what was the Democrat Party, and you will destroy the future of the Democrat Party in this country forever. You want to keep doing it? God bless you. 7:39. California's arch-liberal leftist Senator Adam Schiff, the man who so famously lied publicly to the American public for years, saying that he had absolute evidence that President Trump was controlled by Russia. He called him a Russian puppet, only to never produce the evidence that he swore he had. Made a total ass of himself in the Senate yesterday during a back and forth with FBI Director Kash Patel.
The American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No. I think the American people believe the truth, that I'm not in the weeds on the everyday movements of
you're
inmates.
Not in the weeds?
What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
I'm not surprised
I'm not surprised that you continue to lie from your perch and put on a show so you can go raise money for your charade. You are a political buffoon at best.
Well, you can take an internet troll.
Take it to the bank that the FBI is protecting this country and the state and citizens of the California. We are bringing historic reform. Point of order. But all you care about is a child sex predator that was prosecuted by a prior administration, and the Obama Justice Department and the Biden Justice Department did squat. And what did President Trump do? Bring new charges courageously. And what have we done?
Chairman,
you said I'm the most
of
transparent FBI director in history. 33,000 pages of information to you. I challenge you to say anything credibly to the truth. Go ahead and run to the cameras where you want to go now.
Both of you be quiet.
I like that end. Both of you be quiet. Shut up. Schiff, it should be mentioned, is under federal investigation right now for alleged mortgage fraud violations, and he's in big trouble. And he actually has his own legal fund out there because he knows his butt's going to be in jail if he is convicted of that. That is a major federal violation, and to have the cojones to sit there and still be public when you know you're under federal investigation and could be indicted at any time is pretty bold. Patel, by the way, was testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee regarding the assassination of Charlie Kirk, among other things. And New Jersey's Senator Cory Booker, a.k.a. I Spartacus, acted out dramatically for the cameras when it was his chance to badger Kash Patel.
That rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is
I
my
follow
time.
you on your social media posts that
It is
tears
my
this country
time
apart.
to address
There should be a
your
unifying-
falsehoods.
Oh,
You are an
you can
embarrassment
try all
to the
you
division
want
in this country.
to not take
It is my
responsibility
time.
for what
You
you
had
have
your
said.
time.
Sir, you're
Your
making
time
a
is
mockery of this
over.
committee. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
The
know how
people
far
of New
we've
Jersey
come
tell me
since
what my
you
time
tell-
is.
Senator-
You can't lecture me.
You can tell me
Sir,
my time's over?
You may be the charge of the
I'm not
FBI,
going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
You might want to be afraid of somebody who's the head of the FBI and in charge of an intelligence agency center. I've covered Senator Booker for 25 years. I'm not that old. 40, I've been in the business, but I've covered him for 25 years. And he likes to put on a big bravado public show and then he backs down in private. So Senator Booker, I would bet Kash Patel will be in his post for quite a while, so get used to him. Shopping for a home anytime soon? The good news is mortgage rates have dropped sharply. It happened yesterday as investors in mortgage-backed bonds seemed to buy in ahead of a widely expected rate cut by the Fed. The average rate on the 30-year fixed mortgage dropped 12 basis points from Monday to yesterday, went down to 6.13%. That is the lowest level since late 2022. The Federal Reserve expected to announce its next interest rate decision later today. Many in the industry are expecting that there will be a rate cut of 25 basis points. That means the Fed interest rate would be cut by 0.25%, suggesting further mortgage rate cuts in the months ahead. So if you've been thinking about getting a house, start looking. That might be your cue. It is 7:44 and sad news yesterday. Robert Redford, the legendary leading man, handsome, young or old, just a handsome man and a phenomenal actor. He died. He died at 89. Redford died yesterday at his home in Sundance in the mountains of Utah during an acting career that lasted more than 60 years. Redford became a Hollywood icon with an uncanny knack for finding the perfect scene partner. And he would say in many interviews that it's not just about how well you can act, it's about your chemistry with the other actor on screen, male or female. He saddled up, you'll recall, with the also stunningly handsome late Paul Newman in the 1969 Western buddy adventure Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and 1973 hit conman caper The Sting, which, by the way, got Redford a Best Actor Oscar nomination. He starred with also an incredible actress, Barbra Streisand, in the 1973 romance The Way We Were, and teamed with Dustin Hoffman for 1976's journalism thriller All the President's Men. 89. Rest in peace, Robert Redford. 7:45, we have 62 degrees. When we come back, Point Pleasant erupts with patio palooza. We'll tell you all about it. Clouds, occasional showers today, highs about 67. We are watching on New Jersey Mornings, and we'll be back in 30. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato, 745, taking calls at 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. Clouds, occasional showers today, highs about 67. A guy who knows all the details up and down the state is meteorologist Mike Favetta with the detailed Garden State forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ken. A little bit of cloud cover working its way through New Jersey right now, bringing back some showers into the end of the morning. Likely see those showers take over later today from Newark and Jersey City. Even some breaks of sun right now by Hackensack and West Milford, but yeah, even you tap into that rain before the day is through. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler than average, but that dry weather persists, extending our drought all the way into the northeastern section of New Jersey, even developing that moderate drought there in Trenton. And of course, again, down south, where you see the yellow toward Cape May. We're running about 84% of average there in Morristown, 50% of average in Flemington. So that equates to about a 1 to 2 inch rainfall deficit just in the last 30 days. And it's been rather dry. Especially for most of the summer. So looking down toward the tropics, where typically we get a good soaking rain this time of year if a system comes up north, there's one area that has a better chance of development. That's that area shaded in red, or at least the track of where it's forecast to go over the next few days. And then another wave coming off the coast of Africa that has a low chance of developing. So beyond that, we're looking at slightly higher than average temperatures through the rest of the month. Big warm up in the Midwest. Here in New Jersey, we'll see some warmer than average weather. And then even down to New Jersey, that average chances of rainfall. So likely going to stay dry. No big relief from that drought anytime soon. Looking at the next few days, it's warm going into tomorrow and Friday, low 80s, a few degrees above average, and then cooler this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, still in the low 70s. Beautiful weather to enjoy, lots of sunshine clear through next week as temperatures warm back up into the low 80s by the middle of next week. The shore points, just as beautiful. Nice and dry, low humidity, warm on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we keep it pleasant into next week as well. So very pretty weather ahead, Ken, for at least the next 7 days once we get beyond those showers today and tomorrow morning.
Nice. All right. So, and I was just thinking, isn't fall first day of legitimate fall, calendar fall? Isn't it this weekend?
Yeah, the 22nd. So that would be Monday, I think. I have a look at the calendar.
Look at my poopy face. And Pam, our director in the ear, going, she's all excited. She can't wait.
Yep.
She's got pumpkin everything. Her whole house is colored orange right now. All right. Thank you very much, Mike. We'll
You
check
bet.
back in. Oh, man. Oh, man. I can imagine you walk into Pam's house, it just smells like pumpkin spice everywhere. It's like everything's pumpkin spice. Oh, and she says, and apples. All right, Pam, thank you. And no, I'm not just hearing voices in my head. That's Pam is talking to me legitimately. We do have some traffic to talk about. Take a look at I-78 right now. We have a crash eastbound west of exit 48, which is Route 24 west in Springfield Township. A right lane is closed, and look at the result. You have just an awful lot of traffic there. In fact, you can see what looks like an emergency vehicle. I thought that was an emergency vehicle toward the middle there coming in. That might be somebody going to tend to the crash. Nonetheless, if you are headed to I-78 in the vicinity of Springfield, just know that you're going to have that to contend with. We have a crash on the Garden State Parkway northbound, north of exit 6, which is Route 147. So that's way down south, Middle Township, all lanes open, vehicles on the left shoulder, but causing delays nonetheless. We also have delays Garden State Parkway right now, northbound from north of Bergen Toll Plaza in Saddlebrook Township to exit 160 Paramus Road. It's just volume, wet roadways in some cases, and that's causing some volume. People slowing down, and rightfully so. Just beware of that. And we have delays on 139 lower level, eastbound from Tunnelly Avenue to Jersey Avenue in Jersey City. All lanes open, just very, very heavy. Your Holland Tunnel crossing into Manhattan right now is going to cost you 25 to 30 minutes. The Lincoln Tunnel, we're told, is 35 minutes. And the GWB upper and lower levels, as you look at that, jammed like strawberry jam. There you go, right there. It is just a mess. You're moving at about 1 to 2 miles an hour. It's going to cost you about 45 to 50 minutes in total, making your way from I-95 or I-80 into Manhattan via the GWB, upper or lower levels. 7:50 is our time. Mike Dalton, the coordinator behind Patio Palooza at Wharfside and Point Pleasant, is our guest. And what started as a seasonal celebration of live music, coastal cuisine, I love that, coastal cuisine, and community spirit has grown into one of the shore's most beloved summer traditions. Under Mike's leadership, Patio Palooza has become a hub for local bands, seafood lovers, and anybody looking to soak in the best of the most incredible Jersey Shore vibes right on the water. Mike, welcome to the show. Good to have you on with us.
How you doing, Ken?
Good morning. So tell us about Patio Palooza. It's become a staple in Point Pleasant. What inspired the idea? How did it all begin?
About 15 years ago, I was at the patio, and a friend of mine was playing a show, and I went up and sang a couple songs with him, something we do commonly. And the manager really liked that, and he said we should do a show sometime and have you guys do that all night. And I said, why don't we do a big show, in September, and we'll call it Patio Palooza or something, and we'll all do it. And next thing you know, it grew into this huge thing.
And when you say huge, we're talking thousands of people, right? I mean, how large has the event gotten?
It's packed, like you can't fit anybody else in the in the
That's
place.
that's a good problem. Those are the problems
Yeah,
everybody wishes they had, right?
right.
How first of all, how many days does it go on? How it's not just a 1 minute thing, obviously. So tell us more about it.
Well, it's one night. It's on September 24th, a week from today. It's 4 to 10, so it's a long event, but it's one day.
Gotcha. So it's get there early and be ready to stay and have a good time. You got live music
Definitely
here. You
get
got
there early.
yes, you got great music. You talk about the food that you guys have there too for folks who want to come.
Well, they're known for their food. It's really good, and they'll have be there available for you.
It's awesome. What do you do to get the lineup of bands and artists? I mean, that must be very difficult to coordinate because every band wants to bring its own equipment, set up its own stuff. So how do you coordinate all those bands?
Easily, you just have to have the guidelines because I think there's 17 or 18 bands this year, and we provide the back line. We have drums, amps, lights, sound, staging, everything, and so they just bring their guitars and themselves, and hopefully leave everything else home because there's really not time or room for everybody to bring keyboards and extra amps and things. It's really difficult because we only have like 15 minutes tops for each band, so the turnaround has to be quick.
But the cool thing is, I mean, this is something that if you're a band, you want to be part of this event. This is a big deal now, and to say that you played Patio Palooza is a badge of honor.
Oh wow, that's nice to hear. Yeah, it's a big show, and the bands are definitely happy to do it, and the same ones. A lot of them come back every year, and we add some every year too. So it's definitely a great thing.
So now there are so many events, obviously, that are up and down the shore in the late summer and the early fall season. They're all competing to get people's dollars, especially now as the nicer weather wanes and it comes to an end. So what do you do to keep Patio Palooza fresh and exciting each year so people keep coming back?
Well, we do it's a benefit, so we do it for a different cause every year. Um, this year it's for Mary's by the Sea in Avon, a place where women who have cancer can go and get pampered for the day and be among other women that are going through the same thing. And so we also, do a fair amount of advertising on social media to get everybody there. And it's a well-known show, so people tend to come.
That's awesome. And we buried the lead by talking about what a nice charity that is. I mean, what a special cause. And do your
Yeah.
charities vary then each year?
Yeah, we've done this one before. We've also done Little Hearts to Big Hearts. I mean, Big Hearts to Little Hearts. Um, we've done some individual people who are suffering. We've done a lot of things, some animal things we've done to support some shelters. We just choose one every year and just try to help people and
That's
animals.
awesome. That's awesome, and that makes it even that makes it even happier. You come out, listen, you get good music, you get good food, you get a cocktail, and you're helping a good cause all at once. It's just a general overall feel good event, and that's just such a nice thing to do
Yes.
because when you do something like that and you prove that you are part of the community and that you become at that point basically a concrete part that you are an essential part of that community. Talk about the team too. This is a team effort. So what does it take logistically to pull off a busy weekend? When do you start planning this?
Well, I started early in the year, probably February, contacting the bands, and as time goes on, Corey and Jackie and Mark from the patio and Bob, we all just have meetings and get together and just tie it all together. This is the
That's awesome.
15th one, so we kind of know what to do. We just have to logistically plan it every year.
See, what gets me is it's you. I can just sense, and we've never met. You're a very in control, organized person up here. Me, I'd be in panic attack mode. I'd be freaking out. I could just tell you're a good decision maker. Somebody asks you a question, you could say yes, no. Not a lot of people can do it, and I think you don't even realize how hard this is because you're so good at it. So when you think back, I mean, was it that easy for you in the beginning, or is it just that now you've done it so often that now you're used to it?
No, I mean it's not easy, but it's also not hard. It's just you have to really be organized, and I tend to be organized, OCD, um, and just make sure that everything stays in line. You know, that's all. That's all really. As long as I start early and get ahead of it, I'm fine.
I mean, I could tell by the records on the wall behind you and how they are literally spaced identically, perfectly apart, that you're a little OCD, and that's a good thing, not a
Yeah,
bad thing. I
yeah, I
applaud you
did
for
measure
that. That's
them.
amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, of course you measured them, of course. By the way, you didn't realize your doggy walked in the shot, and even your dog is chill.
Oh, he's great. That's Hudson. And Leroy's here too. He's in the shot. I didn't know he was. Sorry.
He walked right behind you. No, he was fine. He looked at the camera and he just said, boop, 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 boop. He just walked out. He's like, ah, daddy's busy. I'm just going to walk out of the shot. It's a good thing. Talk about some of the memorable moments or the feedback that you've gotten from some of the guests.
They just really like it's a big live music scene, and there's a lot of people that just really adore the bands. So they get to see like a lot of their favorite bands all together in the same place, which is a rare thing. I mean, even us, like we all know each other, the groups, and to go and see another band is difficult because we're all playing. So we all get to see each other play too, which is rare. So it's a nice culmination at the end of the summer for everybody to get together and see all the bands and all the bands see each other. It's a good camaraderie all around.
I love it. What's a website so people get more information?
You can go to the patio site. I'm not sure exactly the name of the site. I don't want to say it wrong. So the Wharfside Patio. Um, and my site, MikeDalton.com, and my Facebook and my Instagram, Mike Dalton Band and Mike Dalton. It's all there.
Thankfully, in the era of the Google, we could Google it, and I'm sure it'll pop up then. So, Mike
It
Dalton,
will.
coordinator. Yes, that's a good thing. All right, Mike Dalton, coordinator of Patio Palooza at Wharfside and Point Pleasant. What an honor. Good to have you on, my friend. And we'll catch you. We
Thanks
got
for
to I
having me.
got
I
to come down
appreciate
to
it.
check this. You bet. I'm coming down to check this out because this just sounds like a
Oh, good.
blast. And that
It's a lot of fun.
this is what makes the shore special. Otherwise, it's just another beach area. You know, it's things like this and what you're doing that makes the Jersey Shore what it is. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
You bet. Have a great day. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Thank you. 7:59 now. When we come back, we're going to take your calls at 888-658-0234. Clouds, occasional showers today. Highs about 67. The full Garden State forecast in a moment. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings. It is seen daily at ONNJ.com, Roku, Fire TV, news on Samsung TV Plus, Apple TV, YouTube, Facebook, and X. And now we are streamed live on Substack, Rumble, and Twitch at twitch.tv/On New Jersey. 7:59. We'll be right back. A very good morning. It is 8 a.m., Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato, and we'll take calls at 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. Clouds, occasional showers today, high 67. We head to meteorologist Mike Vivetti as a full up and down check of the Garden State forecast. Good morning, Mike.
And into Friday for Patio Palooza because, Ken, the weather looks ideal for an evening out there on the water. Very, very pleasant weather. A nice way to finish the last official summer, weekend in summer, that is, with fall beginning on Monday. So we wrap up this week with some sunshine, some warm weather. Just have to make it through the rain today. Most of that rain happening in southern New Jersey as we speak. It's moving in from across the Atlantic, coming in on shore, and then exiting. Oh, even some lightning strikes there. So some intense downpours happening right now over toward Cumberland County. But all of that wrapping up by tomorrow morning, as the winds will be pretty persistent into the end of the day, hence the coastal flood advisory for those easterly breezes gusting up to about 30 or 35 miles per hour. And that pushes in temperatures that'll make it feel a little bit cooler through this afternoon with the cloud cover. Chilly right now up in Sussex, 57 degrees down in Atlantic City. We start our morning with 70, climbing into the mid 70s today, and where there's a little more humidity at the shore where that wind is working in from the east. Most of the dry weather right now is north and west of 287. So, with all of the cloud cover that develops today, the showers that'll be on and off through this afternoon, the winds will start to persist into the end of the day, again, gusting at the shore up to about 29, 30 miles per hour. And remaining quite gusty into early tomorrow morning. Then we get a break with the winds driving in some drier weather by tomorrow afternoon. Notice these showers that are around today, light and spotty into the end of the day, and with these, spotty showers that linger into tomorrow morning. I think we finally see a clearing tomorrow afternoon, but there's one final shot of wet weather that comes in once the clouds clear out. That is after, of course, we get to 80 degrees up in Newark and 81 in Hackensack. This is the dry air that moves on in. It's in the form of a cold front, and it sweeps down and brings in some of these showers that'll briefly, and I mean very briefly, work its way through northern New Jersey and then exit by tomorrow evening. So tomorrow's a beautiful day, lots of sunshine, much warmer, but there's that one opportunity of a late passing shower in the afternoon. Friday is dry all day and it warms up very nicely. But Saturday starts off chilly. We'll be in the upper 30s there in northern New Jersey through Saturday morning, warming into the mid 60s. Beautiful fall weather with the dry weather around, very low humidity throughout the afternoon and really through the rest of the weekend with that sunshine remaining right through next week. So the next few days featuring clearing throughout the day tomorrow. Temperatures climb into the low 80s on Friday with that warm weather, and then we see a cool down for Saturday, but still mid 70s with lots of sun and dry weather. Weekend looking fantastic. Nice way to wrap up summer with another sunny weekend. We've had so many of them this past summer. It's been looking really good, and I think we'll keep it into fall as well, Ken.
You know what, Mike? I don't want to jinx it for next year, but just looking back, we've had some summers where the pattern has fallen
Yeah.
every weekend where we've gotten
Hmm.
rain. This summer, with the exception, did we have even one weekend where I think at least one day it rained heavily, I
At
think.
least one day, yeah, but
Yeah.
most of them have been dry all throughout.
Unbelievable. This has been one of the most beautiful, one of the most pleasant summers, and it started off really hot too.
Yeah.
But it's been incredible. So again, I went on the Amazon, and they have been out of Gold Star stickers since about a month ago. So I can't give you any more. I've given you as many. In fact, right now, if you pick up your page with all the stickers, they start falling off. There's so many. Thank you, Mike.
You bet.
Much appreciated, sir. Mike's like, he's just a dork. That's Mike. Mike is thinking Ken is just a dork. I can't. Uh, he's too nice to even say that word. 64 degrees right now in northern New Jersey, and we have 62 in Trenton. In terms of traffic, this is not so nice. We have a crash on I-78, the local lanes eastbound just west of exit 52, and that is by the Garden State Parkway in Union. The right lane of the three lanes closed. Look at the mess that it's causing as a result. There's also another I-78 incident, disabled tractor trailer eastbound east of exit 29 by 287 in Bernard's Township. The right lane is closed there. We are now told that we have a mess on the Garden State Parkway due to debris on the roadway. This is southbound, south of exit 143, which is Irvington. And the cars coming towards you right now are headed into that. So you could see they're moving, but they're going slowly. The debris apparently has been pushed to the right shoulder, but there are vehicles that are doing that, and that's what may have been causing this little kind of slowdown. It's moving, but slow. We also have delays on the Garden State northbound, north of exit 132 to 136, 4 to 6 miles, we're told. That is all due to volume right now. So it's funny, there are patches of New Jersey that are shrouded in clouds, and patches you could see, depending on the shot we get, that have bright sunshine. It all depends on where you happen to be throughout the state, and we cover the entire state with this broadcast. So it depends on where you are right now. The Holland Tunnel has a 25-minute crossover time into Manhattan. The Lincoln Tunnel, the approach on the helix is heavy, but once you get through the helix, rather, which is the snail shell shape, to the Lincoln Tunnel, it's only going to be about 10 minutes more. So in total, about 35 minutes to get into Manhattan on the Lincoln. Your GWB approaches, though, very heavy today. Upper and lower levels are jammed. You can see that right now on our jam cam that we have. Upper and lower levels are both just bumper to bumper headed into Manhattan. 8:06 is our time, and Laura Williams heads up the Ocean County chapter of the ARC. The organization is a part of a statewide network dedicated to supporting individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families as well. Now, the ARC offers housing, job training, community programs, and advocacy, and plays a key role in helping to improve the quality of life for people of all abilities. Locally, Laura and her team are on the front lines, and they help families navigate support systems, build independence, and really help foster inclusion. Laura, it's good to have you on the show today.
It's great to be here, Ken. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And let's start off. Tell us about the ARC of New Jersey. What is that? When did it start? And how does it support individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities?
So the ARC has been your go-to place for services and supports for people with disabilities since the 1940s. It started as a family organization with individuals, families trying to create better supports and services for their family members here in New Jersey. So, for example, ARC Ocean will celebrate 70 years this year of providing great supports to individuals with disabilities. We like to say that the ARC is the go-to place for families to identify services, from early intervention services when your child is first diagnosed with a disability, all through the school age programs to adult services, where we're providing an array of services throughout all 21 counties in New Jersey.
I can imagine how overwhelming it must be for parents who either give birth to a child who has physical or other challenges, or the child has some kind of disability that develops uh, for 100 different reasons as they're growing up, and how inundating and overwhelming that must be. Parents who think, I could barely pay the bills month to month now. Now, what do I do to help my child whom I love so much? So to have an organization like the ARC there to say, just come here. We know what to do. We could help navigate. You must be just literally like an angel from heaven.
We'd like to hope so. That's what we want to be. We want to be the go-to place for families in any county in New Jersey. You can reach out to a local chapter who has staff and professionals available to help you navigate each step of life, to help individuals be as fully included in their communities and live the most enriching lives possible. And we're very proud of the 20 chapters that we have that provide those great supports and services.
And I know, having worked with a number of charities all over the country, similar to the ARC, outside of New Jersey, I mean, that I've been told by so many, one of the challenges is when parents have a child who is born with some kind of a challenge, that as they get older, when the parents go, if there aren't siblings or other relatives, that is a parent's nightmare. Like, what is going to become of this child of mine when we're not here to provide anymore, to help them out? So how does the ARC help in that case as somebody grows into adulthood with their challenges?
So the ARC provides really significant programs for adults with disabilities. We provide tens of thousands of residential placements where we provide 24-hour supervision, supports and supervision in homes, apartments, independent living situations, and provide whatever staffing that the individual needs to be successful living independently. Because we try to build those relationships with families early on through early intervention, through school programs, through transition activities when kids are leaving the school, we hope that by the time they're adults, we've built strong relationships with the families that they can count on the ARC to provide whatever services the individual needs, whether it be vocational training, recreation activities, respite services, or more intensive residential programming. We believe that we can meet the family where they are, and with the services and supports they need somewhere within New Jersey.
So now, how does the ARC of New Jersey partner with the local chapters? So, because you're a statewide organization, you're specifically with the local chapter. So, how does the state and local partnership, if you will, how does that work together?
So each local chapter is an independent 501c3, independent private charity. We have an affiliation with the ARC of New Jersey, which allows us to be county-based. So what I always like to say is the best thing about the ARC is there are 20 other chapters that we can learn from, take advantage of their expertise. And while we don't compete because we're located, I don't compete with Monmouth County because I'm in Ocean County. I provide my services in Ocean County. They don't come into my county, but I can reach out to Monmouth ARC and say, hey, we're struggling with this. How can you help us? The ARC New Jersey is the overarching goal that helps a lot with the advocacy, overall advocacy for the chapters, with the legislature, with state and local governments to help us so that we can really focus with our boots on the ground and really focus on supporting individuals with disabilities and their families.
That's so nice that you have that network, even just to ask advice, like, "Hey, have you ever had this happen to you? What do you do in this circumstance?" That there's nothing like having that kind of network of help to be able to do that. So that's just so smart. And this is the ARC is strictly a New Jersey organization?
No, it's a national organization. There's about, I think now there's probably about 650 chapters across the country. New Jersey, we like to say, is the best state organization in providing services, but there is a national organization that provides supports and services across the country.
That's awesome. You know what? You just made my heart feel better knowing that it's all over the place. Please forgive me for not realizing that, and God bless you guys for what you do. I mean, that is a very special organization, and I think until somebody is touched in their family with a challenge, a developmental challenge of some sort, you don't realize how essential something like the ARC is. That it is a lifeline. It's when a parent finds out that their child has a developmental or an emotional disability, it becomes just from the people I've talked to, it becomes a daunting life ahead. Couples, right? Families, they wonder, how are we going to do this? This is the rest of our lives. And so to have an organization that has the experience that you have to say, don't worry about it. We're going to help you out. We've done this before. We could help you through it is just an amazing thing to have.
Yeah, we're very proud of our relationship with families. We view ourselves as a family organization. Families are at the forefront. They serve on our board. They participate, and they are the lifeline of being able to say to other families, "Hey, it's not. There's a full life your child's going to live. There's a lot of opportunities when we get services into the family early through early intervention. When we're in the schools working with kids, we can feel very secure that we can help individuals live full and rich lives in their communities, and be productive contributing members of our society. That's what our goal is about, helping them live, work, and play in their communities.
And for people who are watching who want to help out, what are some ways that they can get involved if they volunteer or even just make a donation? Is there a website? How could they reach out to you?
Yes, you can reach out to all of the chapters are reachable by going to the ARC New Jersey website through www.arcnj.org. Every chapter has opportunities for volunteer participation. There's always social events that you can get involved in. For example, on September 25th, the ARC Essex County has their 7th annual Uncorked and Uncapped event. It's a food and drink tasting event that'll raise funds to support that wonderful organization. On September 27th, the ARC of Morris County has their Walktoberfest, where you can participate in their walk and enjoy the fall weather. And right here in Ocean County on October 3rd, the Arc of Ocean is celebrating 70 years, a celebration with a casino night. So there's always opportunities for you to reach out and get involved in your local chapter. The great thing about the ARC is you can find us in your hometowns, in your area, and I'll be calling Mike Dalton to see if I can get onto Patio Palooza for next year for Ocean Arc.
And why not? You should. That's a
Exactly.
beautiful and perfect marriage between organizations. I'm sure he would love to have you there. Executive Director of the Ocean County chapter of the ARC, Laura Williams. And let me just say before I even say goodbye, everybody, thank God that this organization exists, and help out the ARC any way you can. Go to their website. If you just make even a small donation, help them out. Laura Williams, thank you for joining us this morning. And thank you so much, and the people at the ARC, for doing what you do.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate being here.
You make New Jersey, really. The ARC makes New Jersey the beautiful place it is to be. So thanks to her and the ARC. God bless them all. Good people. 8:16 right now, 62 degrees, clouds, occasional showers today, high 67. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings. We'll be right back. It's 17. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. We're taking calls at 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. Clouds, occasional showers today, high 67. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with the Garden State Forecast. And Mike, it's interesting to see our different traffic cams, how one
Yeah.
camera looks like it's about to pour, the next camera has bright sunshine. So it really is just patchy right now throughout the state, right?
It is. It's very variable. So this is what typically occurs when you have these upper level systems that provide bright sunshine over one part of New Jersey, and then you get a dark cloud that moves over. And like we saw some lightning before down in Cumberland or Bridgeton, southern New Jersey there in Cumberland County. So those are the types of systems. And the rain showers that will be moving through today, they're very widely scattered. You can see some right here across southern New Jersey, some entering the New England area, and then right in the middle, we're pretty sunny across northern New Jersey. But that's about to change too, with more of that cloud cover that's now moving in. Similarly, when you add the clouds to the map, you see some of those showers work through southern New Jersey, clouds in the western half of the state, west of the Parkway, and then the northeastern section and right down the shore, some clear sky for now. But even that's about to change with more of those clouds and showers moving in throughout this afternoon. That'll keep temperatures only in the low 70s for a high today, a few degrees off from where we should be. Over toward New Brunswick, Princeton, and Flemington, temperatures a little cooler there as well. With the lower visibility down the shore, I'm talking like exit zero down the shore and 3 mile visibility in Cape May. The rest of the shore points are looking good for now, but again, that visibility drops with more of those clouds and showers that move in later on this afternoon. And in terms of rainfall totals, less than half an inch, so not anticipating big time rainfall amounts, as the rest of the day will feature these on and off spotty showers later on. So here's the system. Most of it is spinning over the Delmarva, and we're just kind of on the northern fringe of it. And this whole system diminishes, loses its energy, and moves out to sea over the course of the day. So it'll mostly just leave us with those cloudy conditions and gray sky into this afternoon, but a pretty persistent easterly breeze, which keeps the humidity a little bit higher down the shore throughout this afternoon into tomorrow. Then we tap into Friday, and it is much drier. That's when the cold front sweeps through, dropping humidity way down into fall-like territory. Of course, for the last weekend in summer, it'll actually feel like fall and look very dry even into Saturday and Sunday. By Sunday afternoon, we have some clouds that return. Monday is looking a little gray as well, but again, not anticipating any big rains. It's pretty fair weather going forward because we have a warm up on the way through the middle of next week that'll bring our temperatures back into the upper 70s and low 80s. And with that, our dry weather is pretty persistent even through Wednesday and Thursday of next week. No real big rain systems ahead. So our drought pretty much continues into next week. Friday, there might be some wet weather that returns. That's our next chance of seeing some actual showers in the forecast that'll at least wet the ground. So if you're headed out to the fall activities this weekend, just take note the tractors, the hay rides, all that stuff, the pumpkin picking, there's going to be a lot of dust around with that wind. So keep that in mind even throughout the day on Sunday. I saw some people last weekend went to a fall festival at a farm and they were wearing the face masks just to keep the dust out of their face. That's how dry it was. A little bit of a breeze as well on Sunday, 73 degrees. So it's dry, it'll be sunny, a nice warm finish to each day after we tap into the 80s by Friday. We'll talk more about that with the 7-day forecast, Ken. It's coming up in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you so much, Mike. And yes, there's a place like 2 blocks from me that has the pumpkin picking. The only thing
Yeah.
that was a little downer was, I mean, it's a big, beautiful patch of farm, and they had signs up saying, "Oh, pumpkin picking starting in 2 weeks." I'm thinking, did I even see you plant pumpkins? Then I noticed they had like, I'm not kidding, 20 of these giant, like Costco-sized crates filled with
Yeah.
pumpkins. I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking, it's not pumpkin pick. That's like
You don't
lifted
grow
off
them.
the ground.
Yeah.
That's picking. You can go to a freaking supermarket. What is the deal? What's because you're putting it on dirt? Put it on my front freaking lawn.
And you got
I'm
to
gonna pay
upcharge it 5 times the price. So this one pumpkin is $50, but you could say you picked it yourself.
I picked it up off the dirt. That's all I did. It was a pumpkin that was picked. It was probably harvested in South Korea 6 months ago, and it probably ripened on a ship headed over here. And now it's in a Costco box sitting on
Yeah.
somebody's lawn. Come and pick your
Hmm.
pumpkin for
Yeah.
$120. Oh, but you probably get little baskets of blueberries that were harvested in some hydroponic lab in South Carolina. Come here and get Jersey fresh fruit. It kills me. And what gets me is Jersey has awesome produce when you have legit
Yeah.
farmers markets. Anyway.
Can I tell you something that
Oh,
at this farm, they had a little farmer's market. You know, you go and you pick the tomatoes, you pick whatever inside next to the sushi at the farm.
no, that's
Fresh
funny.
sushi
That's
at the farm.
that's really funny. Nothing like sushi 60 miles inland. Them's good eats. That's sort of in the same realm of gas station sushi, right?
Yeah, it
You
is.
better you better plan not to go out for a few days. All right. Thank you so much, Mike. We'll check back. Yikes. It is 63 degrees in northern New Jersey, 63 in Trenton as well. And in terms of traffic, we have this to look out for. This is I-80 at Route 23. Just volume right now to report there are no accidents, but that is what you're encountering. A lot of traffic there. Again, I-80 at Route 23. A lot of traffic, a lot of people hitting their brakes there through that area. We have a crash on 78 eastbound at exit 45, Glenside Ave and Summit. All lanes are currently closed, so I'm sure that's going to be a buildup of traffic. In fact, let me take a look right now. Maybe we even have that as I'm talking. Pam, maybe you could find that for me as we're doing it. That's I-78 by Route 527, exit 45, and that just popped up. So we have a crash closing all lanes. So my guess is that's going to pop up with a lot of traffic on the cameras. So we'll find that. Yeah, right. There we go. There you go. That goes right into it. So Pam, of course, Pam, because she's amazing, she just got the perfect camera shot. So this is leading into where that crash is. So again, a crash on I-78 eastbound at exit 45, Glenside Ave and Summit. All lanes are closed, and these people have now just hit that, unfortunately. So that's going to be a while. We have some issues now on 1 and 9 northbound north of Route 35 and Woodbridge. All lanes are open, but very heavy traffic through there. And your Hudson River crossings, we're told 20 to 25 at the Holland. It's 30 to 35 at the Lincoln Tunnel. Very heavy getting to the Helix. GWB upper and lower level approaches have been just a mess of traffic all morning long. That's about the fastest it's moved all morning long, right there. So it's so we'll do Plan B, Pam. Excuse me. We'll do Plan B as before. Okay. So this is what you have in terms of traffic. Pack your patience. You will get there. It's just going to take a little time. Yesterday, by the way, to go to lower Westchester County from northern New Jersey took me 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I left at 7:10 in the morning. That's what I hit. So traffic is just a bear right now. It is 8:25, and officials announced formal charges against conservative Speaker Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin yesterday. Tyler Robinson, the alleged assassin, being charged with several counts, including aggravated murder. The judge who announced the charges against Robinson pointed out that he could be sentenced to death if he's convicted.
Notice conviction of this offense may carry the death penalty or pursuant to Utah Code 76.3-207.7, a mandatory term of imprisonment for life without parole or an indeterminate term of not less than 25 years, that may be for life.
Authorities allege that 22-year-old Tyler Robinson fired a single rifle shot using his grandfather's rifle, by the way, that was given to his father and then to him, from a rooftop sniper position 200 yards away using a scope, they allege, striking Kirk in the neck. This happened a week ago today on the campus of the largest university in Utah, Utah Valley University, about 40 miles south of Salt Lake City in the city of Orem. Kirk was delivering a speech to a crowd of supporters, about 3,000 people, when he was shot. And one thing that Kirk always does is, or did, it's hard to say did, he allows anyone who disagrees or who has any opinions differing from his to come to the microphone first, not to be nasty to them. People on the left who've never watched him don't have a clue. And I have a lot of Democrat friends who thought he's just an extremist. And then they go online and they see him. They're like, oh, he wasn't an extremist. He was actually quite religious, very kind. He was not nasty to people. The people who would come up to him who were snarky and nasty, he would try to engage for the longest. They would come up cursing at him, calling him names, and they would say, "All right, why are you calling me a fascist? Let's talk. Do you know what a fascist is? Why are you calling me ignorant because I left school to start an organization? Why? Let's have a conversation." The problem is too many on the left, too many, not all, but too many on the left today have a my way or the highway mentality, thinking anyone who is beneath them or differing from them is not worthy of engaging in dialogue. And Charlie Kirk kept saying that it is when we stop talking that bad things happen. He said that over and over again. His sign was not "you're a jerk" or "you're an idiot." It was "prove me wrong." So come here and let's hear what your argument is. This is what classic debate was about. This goes back thousands of years, but apparently the socialist mentality today, which has indoctrinated so many on the left, especially younger people, is that you either think my way or you are, and this is what we've heard for about 5 years now from the left, they use the term existential threat and Nazi and totalitarian and fascist. You keep using these terms over and over again without even realizing what they mean. And eventually, some kids, especially during lockdown and COVID, they feel there's no future. And either I kill that person or they are, quote, an existential threat. These people on social media have told me so, so it must be true. And look what happens. Look at all the young people who've now picked up arms, all leftists. The one example of late that the left uses of a right wing, quote unquote, right wing individual who shot a state rep in the Midwest. The one example, this is in Michigan, it happened. Not Michigan, Wisconsin, excuse me. That one example that is used was an unknown state rep shot by a person who is certifiably insane, who had a history of mental illness, and who doesn't have a party registration. And yet the people on the left keep saying, well, what about this person? Because they are associating this individual as a MAGA, even though there's no evidence he was ever political in his life, left or right. Left or right. But that's the only example they cite. And the thing is, the person he shot never made any public proclamations. It was just like a random state rep. Whereas Charlie Kirk, in the minds of harsh leftists, represented an ideology that they wanted to stop. And there is the difference between the right and the left. Dan Bongino, current deputy director of the FBI, famously said over and over again that that Republicans view Democrats as good people with bad ideas, and Democrats say that Republicans are bad people. And when you start off with that difference in opinion of the two sides, it can't go well. We're coming up on 8:30. When we come back, we will speak to brand and digital strategist, brilliant mind himself, Fisher. He's going to tell us about all the goodies that were introduced by the folks at Apple last week and about what's going to be happening with TikTok, or as I like to call it because I'm old, the TikTok. It's 8:30. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings. We'll be back in 30.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Hoffman, host of Energy Matters. Join me every night at 6 p.m. where we're discussing energy affordability, challenges, and solutions with stakeholders and elected officials. Join me weekdays at 6 p.m. on Energy Matters on ONNJ.
Very good morning. It's Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. We have 63 degrees in northern New Jersey, and we have 63 in Trenton as well. It is Wednesday already, halfway through the week. Good morning to you. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. Clouds, occasional showers today, but we've had patches of sunshine too. It all depends on where you are in the state. Highs about 67. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with the detailed Garden State forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ken. Those patches of sun are quickly fading away. So we can see the visible satellite now that the sun has risen high enough in the sky. And look at how those clouds are moving in quickly offshore. So yeah, a little bit of sunshine there in the 130s on the Parkway and going a little further up north of Edison into Newark and right up through Bergen County. But west of there, those gray skies are pretty evident. And the showers that are moving through across southern New Jersey right now only getting stronger. That's where you'll see the most rain today, south of the Atlantic City Expressway, as those showers keep moving in. But even offshore, you see some of those light sprinkles developing. They move onshore in the next hour or so, giving us some wet weather over the course of today. The last few frames here showing most of that steady wet weather working across Cape May County, and that'll be the case into this afternoon with the showers continuing as temperatures climb into the mid-70s from Atlantic City back through Manahawkin and over in Hamilton. Temperatures today warming just to about where we should be, even if not a little bit cooler. Sunrise much later at 7:40, sunset 7:02. So as we approach the autumnal equinox happening on Monday, it'll be a fantastic dry weekend ahead with cooler weather. Just have to make it through the clouds and showers today. And with that wet weather around this afternoon, it'll be a little gray throughout most of the day, spotty sprinkles into the afternoon. And then tomorrow starts off a little cloudy, but turns warmer and drier by the end of the day. Have our last quick round of rain by the afternoon. And then we're dry throughout the day on Friday. A lovely warm breeze that'll shape up, setting temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, making it feel lovely, even at the beaches. It's all the wet weather today is all due to this very slow moving system that's moving out to sea, throwing back some showers and clouds our way and keeping those winds pretty gusty at the beaches as well. But once that clears, we have a very dry and a fantastic feel this upcoming weekend throughout our Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Maybe as the high breaks down, we get a few more clouds in South Jersey by Sunday afternoon, but I still think we're looking nice and dry. The 7-day forecast, very pleasant, starting tomorrow with temperatures back up into the 80s, more sun throughout the day. I think the sunniest and warmest day of the week is Friday, 82, and then look at that, I added a degree or two to Saturday and Sunday's forecast. Very pleasant weather as that warm wind from the north takes over and settles in. But we are back in the upper 70s and low 80s by the middle of next week. So there is a warm signal ahead as we start off the first few days of fall. Rather dry, rather warm, a very pleasant weekend even at the shore this upcoming weekend, but still, even at the beaches, Monday and Tuesday of next week, warming back into above average territory, right? We got to lift it up on a positive note and got to toss back to Ken with the above average. Got to get those gold stars, even though they're still out of stock on Amazon.
That's awesome. And by the way, when the degree popped up on your graphics there, it's amazing. People don't realize the size of the staff that you have back there working for. I mean, you have interns for interns, which is just it's amazing. I'm dumbfounded because, my 60 people here are they always are looking for something to do. So I'm just fascinated by how you
It takes a
always have
village.
something for everybody to do.
Takes
It
a
takes
village.
a village in my mind. All right. Thank you so much, Mike. We will check back with you, sir. It is 63 degrees in northern New Jersey and 63 in Trenton. Again, patches of the state are in perfect sunshine. And then patches of the state look like they're going to dump with rain right now. It all depends on where you are. As Mike said, that's all high level, upper level atmospheric stuff happening. And it's going to be that case throughout the day. In terms of traffic right now, what we have is we have a crash with injuries on 78 eastbound at exit 45 by Glenside Avenue and Summit. All lanes are closed there right now. Go to the Jersey Turnpike if we may. We have a camera shot here. We have a disabled vehicle, and that's causing this as you try to exit your way and get over to make your way to the Lincoln Tunnel approach on 495. That is absolutely stopped. Look at that now. Well, actually, now it really is stopped because I think that was a digital delay. But a second ago, when we did have streaming video before the digital burp, yeah, you could see. There we go. Now you could see it's a live shot, I think. There it is. And it's still stopped. Doesn't matter. Just bumper to bumper traffic. That's the case, making your way all the way to the Lincoln Tunnel, and the Lincoln, as a result, it's about a 40-minute crossover time. So this is where the exit from the Turnpike takes you to Route 3 to 495, and it's just going to cost you a lot of time, 40 minutes across. Holland Tunnel's about 25 minutes getting over, and the upper and lower levels, GWB, just a mess. And now we have a reason. We have the lower level with they just moved it. They had a apparently disabled vehicle on the lower level. That's been moved. Let's see what else. There was also something on the upper level, I think, got moved because a minute ago this was all stopped. So they're fast getting this stuff going, but you could still see it's going to be very heavy, getting across about 40 to 45 minutes. 8:36, and as we mentioned last week, Apple fans geeked out as the iconic gadget company unveiled a pile of new must-haves along with lots of new software. Plus, has the TikTok ownership problem been solved? Brand and digital strategist Fisher, who could be found on X, Threads, and Instagram with username @Fisher, and through his website, fisher.media, joins us now with the details. Good morning, Fisher.
Good morning, Ken. How are you?
Thanks. Let's start with TikTok now. It looks like, just the other day, I heard President Trump, he was asked outside of the Marine one, somebody asked him, are you going to have to extend the TikTok current extension? And I kept thinking, if he extends this again, this
Yes.
doesn't look real. It looks bad. But now it looks like they have some kind of an ownership partnership. There'll be a TikTok USA. Tell us about that.
Sure. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has stated that a framework deal between the U.S. and China has been reached with terms that have been set since March or April. Now, keep in mind, we just keep kicking this down the street, the road, the highway, across the Atlantic, across the Pacific, whatever, because we keep sort of talking about the same thing over and over again. Now, while the framework had been agreed on earlier in the year, it had been delayed by China's response to President Trump's tariffs. The deal is expected to include new investors alongside existing ByteDance investors. Now, ByteDance is the China-based company that is the parent company to TikTok. It's anticipated to be finalized within the next 30 to 45 days, although sources, of course, requested anonymity, whatever, they want to be anonymous, due to the confidential negotiations going on. Now, it's rumored that Oracle will continue its existing cloud services. It's a major US company, so they'll still be on board as hosting all of the data for TikTok as part of the agreement. Now, again, negotiations have dragged on, and as you mentioned, President Trump extending the deadline 3 times since taking office in January, and then I think it was April, and then September, or 45. I think they went by 45-day increments. Now we have rumor that there's a 4th deadline going to extend to December 16th, so they can kind of wrap all this up. The White House, TikTok, Oracle have not immediately responded to requests for comment. And again, this ban, it was a law set by Congress in 2024. Then when Trump got into office, he kicked the can down the road, and that's where we've been at. So in theory, this is still a ban that Trump just keeps moving the deadline until we come up with something. I do want to state something that people kind of forget. The United States has to negotiate with China to work out a deal for a company that isn't owned by China to do business with us and divest. If you think about that, normally when companies work together, they don't get the countries involved. So keep in mind that TikTok is still, as it sits on most phones of people that are watching this, still a Chinese-based company where they can access your data. And you know me, I'm big on data privacy. And so it's still a Chinese company. And most companies, again, you're not negotiating with India directly for to deal with a company based in India. So China is dealing with, we're dealing with China for TikTok.
And again, just to clarify, we're talking about 80% ownership by the US, 20% by China. The question then becomes, will China still have access to the data? And I'm guessing one of the things that the Trump administration is saying is, no, you cannot have that access or else there's no deal here. I'm guessing that's
Of
the
course.
deal. All right, so
Yeah,
that's
that's
essential.
the deal.
But
But of course, again,
they still
China
get the
is
algorithm.
in. Yeah, the algorithm needs to be, it needs to be the algorithm. It can't be a spin-off of the algorithm because that's what makes TikTok. That's the special sauce. But I will also add that, and you've done stories on it. There's been stories, all over the media about about China is in our infrastructure, in our telecommunications. So yeah, don't touch our data on TikTok, man. Like, fingers crossed.
Well, the other thing too, and for people wondering why this timing, in the next week or two, the president, I believe, is going over to Beijing, and there's
Mhm.
all this trade and tariff negotiation about to happen. So I'm suspecting China gave an inch so that they get a little bit. That's the game, and nothing is done for nothing. Let's put it
Right.
that way, right?
I know
That's the
probably
game that
all this should be finalized when Trump meets with Xi Jinping.
I'm guessing. But the truth is, in China, there really is no private property, even though it's a private
Correct.
company. As you pointed out clearly, that they still have to. They're not a Chinese company, but they're a Chinese company. So that's what it is. That's why Mr. Fisher,
Wink, wink,
right
nod,
here,
nod.
yeah, Fisher here will not download TikTok on his phone for a reason, and I think we should
Do
all
not have it.
take that. Let's talk about Apple. Apple, look, I'm not an Apple guy, but they had some
I
cool
know.
stuff last week.
I
Talk
still talk
about
to you.
all. Talk about, and there's also software that's going to be coming up.
Mhm.
So let's talk about the products and the software.
Yeah, and we talked about this last week. So they released 3 phones. The iPhone 17, which is the base model, it has a larger screen, better selfie camera. All of them have new chips. It's the A19. It's just depending on the phone, they get fancier. The iPhone 17 Air is supposed to be the smallest iPhone, the thinnest iPhone ever. That's been sort of debunked, but it's a very thin, ultra thin design, 6.6-inch display, and again, the bigger chip. It only has one rear camera, a single camera, so no telephoto lens, and that's to keep the thinness of the camera. There's the iPhone 17 Pro, which is my favorite, the Pro Max, and then we have 2 new watches released. Apple Watch Series 11, which is just the next model, and then the Apple Watch Ultra 3, which is the huge update. It's the watch, basically, you can scuba dive with it, you can go hike with it, and if you lose cell service, you'll be able to connect via satellite. All the Apple Watches, the 2, have 5G chips in it as well for cellular connectivity. Another big rollout was the AirPods Pro 3. They have heart rate sensing in it, hearing aid feature, and live translation. And the live translation is also rolled out in the new operating system for all Apple devices. So if you have an Apple device, period, Apple TV, iPhone, Apple Watch, AirPods, HomePod, on and on, I know it all. The Macs, the iPads, all of it. New update, it's operating system 26. Now, iPhone was just on 18, operating system 18, and then iPad. What they did was they made it in line with the year. Instead of just this random number of the 18th operating system they've had since they launched the device, it is now in line with the year. So operating system 26, obviously 2026 as we go into it. So all these OSs will be released in September, October, and then carry you through the next year. So that's why all the OSs are now operating system 26. So go update. Besides great features like upgrades to Apple HomeKit, CarPlay, the ability soon to add your passport to your wallet, also the live translation. Now, Ken, you know 5 languages, so
Seven,
it's the
seven,
plebes.
seven.
Whatever, man. Okay. Who's going to test you? 10. You got 10, 15 languages. So you got 7. So you may not need these. But basically, you put the AirPods in your ear. And it's not specific to AirPods Pro 3. Some of the prior versions will also allow this. And then if you're in a situation where you don't understand somebody to language barrier, it will process it. And on your phone, it will it can process it like you're at the United Nations. So you'll start hearing English when someone's speaking another language. You could also speak back and then have your phone translate it back to the language, and you can show. Obviously, the best situation would be where you're in a conversation with 2 people wearing AirPods that can do live translation, and then you're literally at the United Nations and hearing the English translation, and then they hear their translation in their ears. So great features. I think at minimum, again, if you don't participate in the new upgrades, update your OS. So go to any of your Apple devices and do the update. And most importantly, out of all the great features, you also obviously have security upgrades to everything. So it's important just on a security basis to always keep your devices to the most recent version out there.
So it's nice to know that Apple is finally doing what Samsung has been doing forever,
I
because
can't
this is
hear
the
you. Is this
Samsung.
breaking up?
Yeah,
I can't.
See, this is the Samsung S25 Ultra. It's called the S25 because
Oh,
what year are we in?
I don't know.
1824? Yeah, no. See,
Yeah.
that's
No,
the,
not the year you were born. We're in 2025. It is
welcome,
important to know that
welcome.
all the
Good that you finally came around there, Fisher.
all the operating systems are available now. You can order all of these, the iPhones and the Apple Watches and the AirPods 3 by going to apple.com. There's probably deals through your cell company as well. And they deliver on Friday. So the phones and the watches aren't out yet. They will all deliver, or you can pick them up on Friday.
Yes, just make sure, as Fisher just said, make sure you update your software, because otherwise somebody will exploit the issue. Although it doesn't
Yes.
happen as often with Apple products, but you never know. There's always some geek out there who has nothing better to do. All right, I appreciate you, sir, as we always do when we have you on here. Brandon Digital Strategist Fisher, who can be found on X, Threads, and Instagram with username @Fisher, and through his website fisher.media. And before I let you go, by the way, I actually went online and looked at Tim Cook's. I watched because of you. Fisher told me, do not call me at this particular time when they
No,
did the
1
presentation.
o'clock last Tuesday. Don't do it.
I went online and I looked. Tim Cook, what a slickly produced, it must have cost $100 million to do that presentation. When they got to the point of the gentleman who dropped of a heart attack, not expecting that he would have a heart attack, but his watch, I guess,
Yep.
said, I see you're having a problem. Should I call for help? And he got help. It saved his life. And I actually got emotional. That's how well produced the videos are at Apple. I actually got emotional for the guy because I have
And
AFib and I'm thinking that thing literally saved his life. It's not
yeah,
just a
and
gimmick. It saved his
no.
life.
Yeah, and there's plenty of examples of that. And again, they don't diagnose anything, so it might say that you have a higher heart rate than normal. With the new watch, they're also going to, I believe, it's blood pressure, so you'll be able to monitor your blood pressure in your watch. So again, it's things to indicate that you may want to go see a doctor or get it checked out. But yeah, they don't diagnose anything, and they're quick to say it, but they will tell you that something seems elevated and you should take a look.
Yeah, and pay attention to it when it says that. Fisher, thank you so much. We'll catch you
Have a
again
great
next
night,
week, my friend.
afternoon.
You,
See ya.
you,
Morning.
whatever. Thank you.
Good
All
morning.
right, we'll check back. Pam, let's forego the break because of our time, please, and our guest, 8:48. And we have clouds, occasional showers today, but patches of sun even too, depending on where you are in the state. Highs to 67. Meteorologist Mike Favetta, he has the full Garden State forecast for us for final check of the morning. Good morning, Mike.
Yep. You know it's bad when the Apple Watch alerts you that your son is screaming too loud, and loud noises for prolonged times can be damaging to your hearing. So thank you. Thank you, Apple.
Love it.
because got a pair of lungs on that one, little 8-month-old. Hey, we've got some great weather today. Head outside, maybe to scream into a pillow if you're not a fan of the rain today, because there will be some showers working through this afternoon from Newark and Jersey City through Hackensack. Summer's almost over. Fall is on the way. And with that nice, pleasant weather comes some dry weather as well for this weekend. We could use a little more rain than we've seen, especially with the drought that's ongoing, a moderate drought now shaping up for most of northern New Jersey, with quite a bit of a rainfall deficit, even half what we should have gotten for the last 30 days in Flemington. That equates to about 1 to 2 inches below average, even going right down the shore, where you've picked up quite a bit of rain this morning. So better news there. As far as the tropics, because we have passed the peak of hurricane season here for the Atlantic, but even still, there are some areas that we're watching over the next few days. There is one in the southern Atlantic basin and another wave coming in just off the coast of Africa that has plenty of time to develop. But as far as our weather here in New Jersey goes for the rest of the month, we'll be above average. Not as warm as places in the Midwest, but still above average here in New Jersey, with that dry weather continuing, a mix of clouds and sun over the next several days, with more sun tomorrow afternoon and an abundance of sun this weekend. In fact, it looks great on the 7-day forecast. Plenty of clear weather with warmer than average conditions through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, slightly cooler, but still mid-70s. In the shade will feel lovely. In the sun, it's going to feel awesome. And then Monday and Tuesday, keeping it warm as well, with those highs going back up into the upper 70s. Plenty of great weather to enjoy throughout Friday, Saturday, and Sunday down the shore as well. We're dry into next week and very pleasant overall. So, Ken, a fantastic last few days of summer ahead as fall begins Monday afternoon.
You caught me just as like I got a little eyelash right there. Thank you very Tried to sneak in that. Get rid of the eyelash really fast. All right, Mike. Thank you very much, sir. We'll take it. Sounds good. We need a little rain today. Hopefully, we get a little bit more today, just so we stay out of that drought. But thanks,
Yep.
Mike. We'll check you again tomorrow, sir. It is 8:51 right now, and Dawn Del Russo is a nationally recognized fashion expert known for helping people look and feel their best through every season. Maybe she can give me some help, because let me tell you, Dawn, well, we'll talk to Dawn. As the weather starts to cool down, Dawn is here to show us that we don't need to pack away all our favorite summer pieces yet. Smart. She's all about repurposing. With the right layering techniques and a few strategic style swaps, your summer staples can actually carry you straight into the fall effortlessly and fashionably. Good morning, Dawn. Welcome on the show. Good to have you on.
Hi, Ken. Thank you. So nice to be here.
Well, good to have you. I'm gonna reveal a secret live that you don't know and Pam, our
Okay.
director, does not know. Watch. Watch as I stand. I'm wearing, can you see? I'm wearing shorts.
Yes,
That's
shorts.
that's how I come to work. I'm wearing shorts
That's
and a suit top. So
that's a good
so
transition.
if I layer, can I get away with my
Yeah.
shorts?
Yeah, exactly. You can wear them all year long if you would like. Put a heavy sweater on, a big coat, and you're ready to go.
There you go.
Uh,
No, but
yeah.
this is smart. You don't always have to, like, everyone does this, right? They get that last weekend of summer and they pack everything away, and then they get 2 weeks of warm weather in the fall, and they're like, why did I pack it away? But you're saying how you could mix and match and layer it all up and not put away all the summer stuff yet.
Yes, exactly. You do not have to put away your summer stuff. I tend to leave a lot of my summer stuff out because it does transition really well. Like something I'm wearing now. I mean, I have a little tank top underneath this. I threw a button down over it to give me that layer in the morning when it's a little bit cooler. I could take this off and still have the skirt and the tank and look good for the day, and then throw back the top on later if it feels like it's getting a little cool out. But this also works going into the fall when you want to style an outfit really nicely. I have some other options here. I don't know if you can see them, but a little sweater with your shorts. I love throwing a chunky knit sweater over a pair of silky shorts is very on trend right now. And a sweater like this will keep you warm again. You have the layers to go with, to take on, to take off, because we know how New Jersey weather could be.
Yes, I love, by the way, that's like that's the, I'm not a fan of cold weather, but yet there's
No,
something about the comfort look of that chunky sweater, like you want to hug it. There's just something so comforting about it.
I love it. I think really it is, and I think it looks so nice. We have only like a month or so where you can style a sweater like that with shorts or a shorter skirt for women, and I think it looks nice. and it gives you an option to do a different look than you maybe typically do. You maybe always wear that sweater with jeans or a longer pant. And now you can take that sweater that you had from last year and mix it with your shorts, mix it with a pair of denim shorts, and it looks really great. It looks like you have a whole new wardrobe when you put it together.
Now, for guys who aren't grasping this concept, it doesn't mean you could wear your Hawaiian shirt until
No,
December because that
no.
would scream summer. But yet, if it's a short sleeve shirt that you wear, like you could put a jacket over a short sleeve shirt, nobody would know the difference. And like when you're in that transitional temperature period, you can get away with that.
Exactly. I think it's really great. And for men to think that way, because if we're walking around and you're, in these warmer temperatures right now, and then it gets cold, it kind of flips back and forth. You want to have that versatility. Even like a light knit sweater, I think is great. A cardigan style looks really nice over one of those shirts for men. It styles really well. You can even tuck it into pants if it is thin and lightweight and does look good versus taking something that, feeling like you have to create a whole new wardrobe, going shopping and doing all of that. Pull out the sweaters, look through the things that you do have in your wardrobe and see what can combine and make sense for you this time of year.
Now, for women, there's, I think, nothing more elegant than a strapless. You wear a strapless dress in the summertime, like a long strapless dress. How would you get away with that in the
Yes.
fall?
Yes, so I have that here too. Let me show you. I have a little simple strapless dress like this, and I would do a sheer looking top. This has some long sleeves. We're seeing a lot of this style top right now, and women are asking me, how do I wear that? It's a little bit sheer. I'm not going to wear it where I want it to show, and typically you'd put a jacket over it, you'd put something underneath it, you'd layer it that way, but this is a good option to take your strapless dress and put this right underneath, so you'll just see the top of the
Mm.
shirt, and you won't see something too revealing, and you have a nice another layer to go with the strapless dress, and this will take you through the whole entire year. I mean, I love this style to do in the really cool, warm, colder months of the year when you want to style something and you put that shirt underneath, you put another sweater on top or a jacket. Layering really actually styles an outfit. If you look at even right now, Fashion Week just happened, and a lot of the looks are layered. So if you want to feel like you are that cool girl or have that look or you have a good eye, layering is the key.
That's awesome. I didn't even think about that because, like, once you arrive at
Yeah,
your destination and you're inside, if you wore, say, a
right.
sheer top over the strapless, you're not going to get the goosebump chill because you're kind of covered, but
Right.
people could still see through the sheer that you're wearing something strapless and the elegance comes forward.
Exactly.
This is why
Yes.
I know nothing about fashion and you do.
No, it's
So
good.
now,
Some good ideas.
no, but you explain it really, really well for a guy like me
Thank
who's
you.
not usually into fashion. You do a seriously, I'm not blowing smoke. You do a really nice job at
Thank
explaining
you.
it.
Thank you.
What we got about a minute or so left. So now in terms of staying warm, you're talking about layering. How can you layer and not get too bulky?
Yes, so I think that that's key, and you want to think of all your layers as thin, lightweight pieces. So the top that I have underneath this is very thin and lightweight. This button down is not a heavy button down because sometimes you can get into those more thermal feeling, and that could be too much. So you want to stay away from that layering. And if you are doing a thicker piece, think about what you're putting on top of it. So if I'm doing a thicker, chunkier sweater, I'm going to do a lightweight, maybe style barn jacket or a denim jacket over it, which is a lighter weight piece on top of the chunky knit sweater. So you want to be a little bit versatile. That goes the same for men as well. If men are layering, and I know a lot of men like to do vests, like a chunky vest,
Mhm.
do a very thin, maybe a cashmere sweater underneath it, something that's not going to feel overwhelming on your body and feel like you have a ton of pieces on top of your
Right.
body.
By the way, I'm glad you just said cashmere because that's like if you haven't worn a cashmere, anybody watching, treat yourself. They're not cheap, but get a
Yes.
real good cashmere and you will treasure that. Just don't spill anything on it like I did the first time I got one, because that's the disaster.
No,
So
they're
right,
so
but
good and so
they're
warm.
and they're so soft. Oh my gosh, Ugh, it's
Yes.
amazing. What is the one message that you want viewers to remember when they're staring at their closet and thinking, "I have nothing to wear. What am I gonna wear? I'm giving my jersey, my attempted jersey imitation. What am I supposed to wear?"
Yeah. No, I think, we all do that. I do that in the morning sometimes. I think a little bit of planning is key. So go into your, when you have a Sunday morning or you have a little bit of time, step into your wardrobe, look through what you have, pull out some pieces that you really enjoy wearing, and don't think of the season. So if there's a top that you love in the summer, think about how you can maybe wear that with the dress that you have. If you have a piece that you haven't worn in a while and you don't really like it, get rid of it. Don't keep it in there. Why look at something that you don't really
Dawn, I'm going to
like?
cut you because we're in the last 10 seconds. Quick website.
Trust DawnDelRusso.com. You can find me everywhere.
DawnDelRusso.com. And we're ending the show right with you. You can stay on camera with me. Nationally recognized fashion expert Dawn Del Russo. Thank you for joining us this morning. Please come back. You're awesome. All
Thanks,
right.
Ken.
Take care, Dawn. And you're watching on New Jersey Mornings. Thanks for being with us. We'll catch you again bright and early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Till then, have a great day. Bye-bye.